and to answer some questions as well. So my first question to you, Gukesh, after the opening phase, when did you feel like there was some difficulty for you in the game?
Um, I thought I was quite comfortable out of the opening, and then I guess after Queen D2 I was really not sure what to do.
You felt fine all the way here?
Yeah, I mean knight c5, d4, knight d3, d5 was kind of tricky for me.
You said knight c5, d4?
Yeah, knight d3 and d5 I thought was quite tricky. So I was thinking what else to do to stop d4, and it was not that easy. And I just bishop g6 was just a mistake because I missed d4 e d4 bishop f4. Yes. I mean d4, if I take on d4 he has bishop f4, which I missed. So yeah, after e4 knight g1 I think it was already a bit difficult.
Was this something inside of your preparation, or were you surprised by the opening?
No, I was prepared for a few moves. I didn't really exactly remember all the details, but yeah, I was aware of this position.
You won yesterday a very big game. This is a reversal, not easy to react to, but still the score is tied. Your feelings about the new situation?
Yeah, I mean obviously it's not pleasant to lose this game, but at least I mean yesterday I could have also gone either way, so I guess it's fine. At least the score is still tied, and um, there are two more games remaining. So yeah, let's see.
Opening up the floor to reporters to ask Gukesh some questions. Who has the first question for Gukesh?
Hi, my name is Atreo. I work for Rev Sports. My question is for Gukesh. Gukesh, winning and losing is part of sports, but I mean, how do you take this? How do you take to this setback?
Um, yeah, obviously this game is a bit of a disappointment. Um, yeah, luckily I have a rest day tomorrow to recover. But it's nice to know that the score is still tied, and this game uh, this game is not a huge blow for my chances. We're still evenly matched. So yeah, I'll just try to play good games in the remaining rounds.
Thank you.
Next question.
Hi, I will be asking my question in Tamil. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Vanakkam, and despite your failure today, I think we are still very excited for the rest of the games. Just wanted to ask, இந்த உலக சதுரங்க வெற்றி விழாவில் வந்து இரு ஆசிரியர்கள், அதாவது ஆசிய நாடுகளை சேர்ந்த இருவர் விளையாடுற முதல் விளையாட்டாக இது இருக்குது வரலாற்றில். அதை பற்றி உங்களோட கருத்துக்கள் என்ன? அண்ட் ப்ளஸ் ஒரு சில டெக்கேட்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி சோவியத் ரஷ்யா எவ்வாறு வந்து இந்த விளையாட்டை டாமினேட் செஞ்சதோ, அது மாதிரி விஸ்வநாதன் ஆனந்துக்கு அப்புறம் நிறைய இந்தியர்கள், முக்கியமாக தமிழ்நாட்டிலேருந்து பிற இளையர்கள் நட்சத்திரங்களாகிறது, சதுரங்க வீரர்களாகிறது ரொம்பவே நம்பிக்கை ஊட்டும்படியாக இருக்கின்றது. அதை பற்றி உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்கள் என்ன? அண்ட் டு ரெப்ரசன்ட் இந்தியா அண்ட் ஆல்சோ டு கம் ஃப்ரம் அ சவுத் இண்டியன் பேக்ரவுண்ட், அதை பற்றி உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்கள் என்ன அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா?
May you translate that question first, please?
Sure. So I asked that in the history of the game, for two Asians to come up and compete in this world arena, it's one of its firsts. And having his Indian and also South Indian background, what would he like to say to the rising stars all over India, especially after Vishwanathan Anand's era?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now in the match ரெண்டு ஏஷியன் பிளேயர்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் நடக்கிறது லைக் இட்ஸ் ஒரு ஸ்பெஷலான மூமெண்ட் தான். ஏன்னா ஐ திங்க் ரீசெண்ட் இயர்ஸில் நிறைய ஏஷியன் கண்ட்ரிஸ் ஆர் ரியலி லைக் நிறைய டேலண்டட் பிளேயர்ஸ் வராங்க. இந்தியா, சைனா, உஸ்பெகிஸ்தான், நிறைய கண்ட்ரீஸ். ஸோ இந்த மேட்ச் ஏஷியாவில் இன்னும் செஸ் பாப்புலர் ஆகும்னு நம்புகிறேன். அண்ட் யா, ஆனந்த் சாருக்கு அப்புறம் நான் சவுத் இந்தியா, இந்தியாவிலேருந்து வரது எனக்கு ஒரு பெருமையான விஷயந்தான். ஸோ யா, இட்ஸ் கண்டிப்பாக ஐம் வெரி happy to represent India and South India.
Just one more question. I will also translate it.
I'm sorry. We can only limit it to one question.
Okay, sure.
We,
Thank you
if
so
we have
much for your
time at the end,
response.
we'll bring it back up, okay? Thanks.
MikeLymanChess.com. Obviously, my question is for Grandmaster Gukesh. We talk a lot about momentum in sports, and obviously, you just lost this game. But in the second half of the match, objectively, you've been the one pushing and maybe even had more chances. So, who do you think has the momentum in the match?
Yeah, in the second half, I had chances in many of the games. Today was obviously a bad game, but I wouldn't draw too much from it. Bad games happen, but if you look at the second half overall, I think we are both playing better than the first half. But yeah, I think I had more chances in the second half. So yeah.
Thank you.
Hi Gukesh, commiserations for the loss. This is Rajesh from Trinity Mirror. We have seen this World Championship battle being a very much roller coaster. You said in the previous game that the game itself was a roller coaster. So your thoughts on how you'd categorize this battle? What were your expectations before the match? Would you have taken 6-all scoreline? And do we expect a different mindset going into the final two games?
I think 6-all is overall a fair result, but yeah, since I was leading after yesterday, it's a bit disappointing to lose this game. And about whether it will change my mindset for the next two games, no, I don't think so. It's still about playing good chess. Yeah, right now I'm a bit disappointed with the game, but I have time to recover and start playing well. Yeah.
My name is Radha from the Singapore Chess Federation. My question is to Gukesh. What is the best piece of advice that helped you through this championship?
I did get a lot of advice, but probably just to take one game at a time and give it my best.
All right, if there are no more questions, we would thank Grandmaster Gukesh for answering those questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good luck in the next couple of games. And we'll turn now to the world champion. And I'll start with a couple of questions. Obviously, yesterday was a pretty tough game to tolerate. How is it that time and time again, though, we've seen you do this 3 times already, last time in the match, and now, once again, after a loss, you bounce back. Where do you find that courage and strength to be able to do that?
Just by chance. Yes, yesterday was a difficult game to deal with, since I was much better at one point and I just spent too little time on the critical moment. I spoiled a very good position. But after that, I just continued the normal routine and just have dinner and to sleep earlier and be refreshed for this important game.
Talk to me about the position itself. When did you feel as though you had the position under control?
And only after knight f4, I realized my position much better.
Not before this, because it looked very positive even before this.
Yeah, before this, After knight v5, I'm very optimistic about my chance. Maybe here, and yeah, there are many details. For example, here if we go knight g4, which looks very good, I would like to play bishop c1. If knight b4, I play bishop f1. I don't know who is better here. And he play h6, looks too slow, and I calculate a lot by playing this. But maybe he's just in time to defend. If I take, he cannot take with rook, I can both take with this pawn or this pawn. I can take with bishop, and it's just nothing for white. Position too simple, and bishop restricted by his pawn structure. So I had to come up with some ideas to play slow. And with this, I weaken his b5 square. But if I play knight b5 here, he can go knight g4. There are no knight e4 after bishop c5. And here, yeah, this move came as a surprise for me. I was expecting queen d7. I'm going to play queen b3. And I don't know if he can go this. If he can put the queen on c8, I think his position is very solid. Or maybe I can take here. If I go here, I go take. If we take, then my calculations stop here. I don't know if white is better or not. After this, here is another critical moment. Maybe he can play this to change the structure. But I have maybe knight e4. He takes. Maybe c5. I don't know. Maybe it's slightly easier to play for white. And he
This seems reasonable, at least, compared to what he did, right?
Yeah, he allows knight b5. Here maybe I should play knight b5 already to stop knight d4. But I'm very happy to play knight b5. And this idea came as a surprise to me because he wanted to play either knight c5 or bishop f6. Here I don't know where to put the queen, d2 or c3. If queen c3, maybe here, I don't know. If they take and bishop g6, it seems white also better.
His pieces seem very bottled up in this position. They're fighting for squares, his pieces, while yours seem very harmonious.
Yes, after this, my rook is so well placed on center. Will control two open lines after d4 break, queen c3, d4. And his rook, one rook is very passive on b8, and the queen not so idly placed on d8. And here, yes, as he said, I was expecting this. If he take, I take, and I have this version. I have 2 pawns for the exchange, and I take this pawn, which seems good enough. Also, if e4, it's very complicated, but maybe just better for white. So here, he can also play bishop f6 with the idea e4, but also knight g1, something similar to the game.
Your center pawns seem to be rolling and holding his pieces back. There's some mention that it's sort of like an Alechine's defense, where black's knights were funnily placed on b6 and c6.
Oh, some Sicilian?
Out the Alekhine, I know this is reverse the same, but out the Alekhine, when the knight finally ended up on b6, but there's no pawn on e6 to control your center just seemed to be ready to roll at any moment.
I have very strong center. And here I'm deciding where to put the queen, to put on c2 or c3. I put on here, since if after this, after some exchange, if we go knight, I can play some d5, d6, with queen better placed on c3, but I missed the bishop f6, which is a very important move. If I go here, he played knight d7 with idea c6. Suddenly the knight is has no square. If I go here, maybe he can repeat the moves. I'm very happy to find Queen C2. Maybe still there not so much difference between bishop. And if he go here,
Apologies. Take guys, just in case. We just hold for a moment, please. All right. Here we go. I believe you were back.
before the knight G1. Yes, here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go here, I have D5. If knight F5 looks straight, but fortunately I can take his pawn. It seems white is better here. I'm very happy to see A4 since I already realized this idea not so strong, since I always have C5 after knight A4. And his knight misplaced on A5. And here, yes, my first intention was to play H4, but it's a very bad move. When I saw this, I thought my position is much, much better.
So this is where you're getting a lot of confidence, and of course, the game was dominant after that. Is this one of your best games, can we say that, or one of your favorite victories?
Yes, it's very important. It's an important 12th game. Yeah, it's maybe the best game I've played in recent times.
All right, we have reporters lined up with questions, please.
Michael Rahal from Fide Media. Ding Liren, first of all, congratulations on a fantastic game. You mentioned yesterday that last year you also won the 12th game against Nepomniachtchi, and you went on to win the title. So what I want to know is, how did you recover emotionally and mentally for this game? Could you give us 2 or 3 of the things you did, and also give advice to those players who struggle after losing a game, going on to win the next game the following day? Could you tell us a bit about your mental and emotional process last night and this morning, please?
Well, last night I guess I slept well. I slept earlier, and yes, it gave me a lot of energy. Also today I take a cup of coffee before the game, which helped me feel much more energetic. And yes, also I spent some time in the players' lounge to take some snacks and to rest a little bit, just to maintain the energy level during the critical moment. Since here I think I did the last important long think. Because if I play this, I might also spoil this very good position.
Could you mention to us what the variation was you saw at page 4?
This maybe he can take, and maybe not so good for white. Maybe still good, but not as good as I have knight F4. Yeah, I just put pressure on my opponent throughout the whole game. Did not sleep like last game.
Leoncho Garcia from El País. Please, Liren, let me insist on the same subject that my colleagues Maurice and Michael. Today, you looked like a totally different person than the one we have seen here for the last 2 weeks. So, can you elaborate a little bit? How can you be able to produce such a self-confidence today, when, in my view, lack of self-confidence has been your weakest point along the match so far?
At first, I changed my experience a little bit. I did something on my hair. And yeah, considering the chess part, yeah, because I have no way to retreat, I have to push for a win. And I was caught by surprise by my opponent in the opening, and I have to find some ideas to pose problems for my opponent. And I think I just played the very good games, find some good moves, and yes. Yeah, I think there is no chance to spoil it after such a good position.
This is Charlize asking on behalf of your fans on Fide's social media, this time from follower Chess Razorblade. Given the loss yesterday, what words of encouragement did your mom and GM Report give to you?
Rapport sent me a file with names streak back, and it happens. And yes, my mom gave me confidence. She said, "I did it last time. I can do it again."
My name is Ahmed. On behalf of Kazakhstan Telegram channel, Честно говоря, Dean, congratulations on your win. We have a question. In the last match in Kazakhstan, the 12th game became a turning point for you and you won against Yan. Do you believe in the magic of numbers?
If there's a lucky number for me, I think it's 17, not 12. But there are no 17th game in the match.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kyla, representing the local organizing committee. First of all, congratulations. I can only echo the praises that everyone has been singing of you. Secondly, people have been saying that for most of the match, even in games where you have gotten an advantage, it feels like you just settle for a draw, and that this is the first game in a long time where you have an advantage and you actively continued pressing. Would you agree with this opinion? And if so, do you regret not pressing harder in previous games?
Yes, in first game, the advantage is not so clear. I think I'm also in some dangers of being worse. But today, I just I try to play the best moves, and at some point, I suddenly realized my position is much, much better. There is no way to draw. Also, I saw this. As I mentioned, this variation, which may end in 3-4 repetition, I reject it due to the match situation.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, Ding Liren. Once the game was already completely over, you rejected knight a7, which seems like the practical way to win. You just win the rook, and when you're low on time like that, I'm wondering why you didn't take the simple way. d5 was actually a better move, but we're just kind of curious why you didn't pick the simple win.
Well, the reason is simple. I missed knight a7. You can chip the rook after knight a7.
Okay, somebody in the...
Yeah, maybe he should play knight a6 after d5.
I'm sorry, it's just for clarification. You didn't see knight a7,
Yeah, I didn't. I missed knight a7.
Okay, that explains it. Thank you.
Abhidaya from ChessBase India. The position what you played today in the start, it was similar to a game played between your seconds, Richard Rapport and Ni Hao, who are also present here. Was it their idea by any chance?
Yeah, after the game, he told me it's similar to their game. But I don't know the exact move order of that game.
Ding, could you explain to us why is number 17 your lucky number?
Oh, because I'm the 17th fortune.
And I have a wish. Could you show us the rest of the game from your perspective?
After knight f4, here, I forgot what to do. Maybe here. Because if I go d6, he has Yes, if I go d7, he has some counterplay with a very powerful knight on d3. What's my idea? This looks not so strong. I forgot what's my idea. Yeah. But I'm very happy to see in queen d7. I can take on e4. And here I think the last chance was to take on e4. If we play knight c6, I can take on h6. Maybe f6. And I'm calculating take and knight e6. It's crushing. f5, rook e7. He played this after I just retreat the bishop. It's obvious no counterplay for black. If we play this, I can rook e7 and simply take knight. I'm dominate on the queen side. And here looks knight d4. I also take on c5. I have 2 pawns and compensations. The rest is easier. I found the bishop in d6, which is the last killer move, with either rook e8. Upper rook. So the rest is easy.
Maria for the chess. First of all, congratulations, Ding, on a wonderful game. Just to follow up on what was already said about the prep. So was this particular file prepared for the situation when you need to win the game?
I was caught by surprise by his choice. I know something, but not this specific line. So I had to work over the board.
Okay, so there was nothing specifically prepared for situation when you are behind in the match.
Of course, I prepared something, but not this line. Yeah.
Okay, and follow-up question as well. Why is that you play so much better when you are in a must-win situation? Is it because you have nothing to lose, or you are so angry and you just compose all your nerves?
I think it's. I don't know the reason. If I played e6 instead of g6 yesterday, I'm also playing a very good game. And today, maybe the position suit me quite well.
Thank you.
One last question from me. In terms of handling mistakes and handling loss, a lot of people get angry at themselves or kick themselves. What's your advice for all the people out there much lower rated than you are for being able to handle a loss and take it in stride?
Well, if I cannot win today, also if I cannot win the last 2 games, maybe I'll just lose a title, which I also accept. So, yeah, sometimes I perform very well after a lose, like the online tournament held 2 years ago, where I sometimes lost the first one, sometimes even with white pieces, and I bounced back in the last 3 games.
All right, well, tremendous comeback. Congratulations and best of luck in the next 2 games.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We have a rest day tomorrow. There's a follow-up you want? Okay, sure.
Hi, this is Rajesh from Trinity Mirror. Question for Ding. We have seen over the past few matches that you have found yourself in time trouble. But today, like, you handled the time much better. So was there a conscious effort from your team to focus and play faster in this particular game? And at one stage, the accuracy was shown as 99.1, which is brilliant. So congrats on that. And your thoughts on the next two matches and the strategy change in terms of opening preparation for you going forward for the last two games?
I think it's a normal situation where I was a long time in the first half of the game, then his time catch me after some pretty long thought by him. So it's just a normal. But today I spend I think a lot of time, some important time on I think Queen C3, Queen C2, and Knight F4, which are quite important. Which is I take a lesson from yesterday's rules. I should still think carefully, even if the time is not so much.
Would you allow another question?
Thank you for indulging another question. So you mentioned that you had a cup of coffee earlier and that helped to give you more energy. So I have to know, how do you take a coffee?
Oh, it's a small cup of espresso.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
And with that, we conclude the press conference. Again, a rest day before the very important 13th game. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.